Nope, Job like reminded me of a episode of Black Mirror. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I want to talk about Nope. If you haven't seen the movie, I won't be giving spoilers until this point. And if you have seen the movie, spoilers and my interpretation of it will come later in the video. If you haven't seen the movie, Nope is about two siblings running a horse ranch in Cali. And they find something in the sky that their neighbor is trying to capitalize off of. I saw Nope the first day it premiered and I was so excited, and then I felt let down. I just felt underwhelmed. If you're just going in with no expectations, say you're not the type of person who needs this deep objective in a film, or you just like action, or you appreciate the cinematics of a movie, I think your experience will be different from a person who's going into it with a certain mindset, being that Jordan Peele has had great movies before. Let's say you've never seen a Jordan Peele movie. You don't have that pre-connotation going into it. I love the first two movies by Jordan, Get Out and Us. People who have watched Jordan Peele films have this certain scope of him in that he typically has some sort of meaning behind his movies. If you just want something that's going to entertain you, I will say that it was pretty entertaining. Should you just wait for this to stream, or should you go to the movie and see it? I heard that he shot this in IMAX. People were saying you have to see it in IMAX. Me personally, I feel like I would have been disappointed if I had spent the extra money. If I had known this going in, I probably would have watched it in IMAX, but I didn't. I didn't want to have anything negative to say about this, and I wanted to support. I really want to support this, but it could have been presented differently. At this point, if you haven't seen it, you may want to go ahead and just kind of, unless you don't mind spoilers, then keep watching. Look, I'm gonna always tell you to keep watching. Give me that wow factor. I wasn't even really clear on the meaning behind it. So I watched an interview with Jordan Peele and Craig Melvin on Today, and in that interview, Jordan was talking about how the movie had something to do with spectacles, how traps, distractions, deception, how feeding it can be addictive and equally dangerous. Craig said that a spectacle could consume us, literally and figuratively. Jordan responded with how sometimes we give too much power to spectacles. He gave an analogy of how when you're driving and people are rubbernecking, meaning like when there's an accident on the road and traffic just slows down, and when you get to the front, you're like, this is what the holdup was, because everyone is just slowing down, not even to be cautious, but just to observe what took place, to be nosy. That particular statement made me think about how much progress we would make if we went back to not giving so much power to distractions and actually focusing on something greater. Even just ourselves, let alone coming together, but just individually feeding your own spirit and your own intellect and the things that's going to advance you. It made me think about that saying, ignorance is bliss. After seeing the movie, I wonder if each of the characters represents a different type of energy, such as courage, fear, perseverance. In the movie, the brother said, don't look at it. And he compared this to one of their horses that if you look at him, he gonna curse. You may think this is submission or cowardice, but it can save you. And not only that, first of all, it's a level of respect. And given the analogy of spectacles, if you don't give it energy, it doesn't have this power over you. It doesn't have that hold of distraction on you. They ended up using it to their advantage. There were good parts. Jupe's story was good. I just left with so many open-ended questions, like what was the point of the shoe? I saw some people interpret it as waiting for the shoe to drop. You can see there were little innuendos in there. I feel like this would have been better as a TV series, and maybe that's what he's preparing for. I don't really know. I would watch to see a little bit more into Jupe's story, or even the father, into his past, the grandfather. I just feel like a series would have been able to cover a little bit more without having to squeeze it all into a 2-hour film. Actually, I think Nope was more than 2 hours, which is another thing. Because Get Out and Us was so good, there's something I'm either missing or there's something more to it. Maybe his genius just outwitted me. At the same time, I'm like, you know what? Maybe it was just a miss. I don't know if he feels like he has to be more delicate on this subject. Maybe his creative abilities were limited because of all of this funding. Maybe he just simply wanted to have a more subtle approach for us to think a little bit more. This is a movie. When it comes to cinema, it should have a certain approach in that it's entertainment. It reminds me of an artist who is a rapper and the lyrics are on point, but the delivery is just off. Leaving the movie, I wasn't clear on what was going on. I was like, maybe he just wanted to be normal in this one. But after watching the interview, I connected the dots. Even after the interview, it just left me like, okay, yeah, I get it, but still. Us was different. At the end of Us, I had questions in a good way. It wasn't like, what did I just watch? It left me with, what did I just watch? It had my mind blown. Even after he showed you, I still found myself like, wait. All of the parts that happened in the movie that didn't make sense when it was happening, now it made sense. It had deep messages in there. It answered the questions, and it still left me with this wow factor. The presentation just didn't do it for me. I really wanted to support it, and I keep trying to support it. And I'm just like, I gotta be real with myself. I hope that the criticism is constructive and not taken as negative, because I don't mean to be negative, and I would definitely support another Jordan Peele film. I think he did such a great job before, and I believe that he has potential to do an amazing job going forward. I look forward to something coming out that makes this make sense, but right now it's just a miss for me. It took me a minute to make a video after watching the movie because I didn't want to just have something to say. I wanted to add value to the conversation. And after thinking and processing, the phrase starve your distractions, feed your focus came to mind. If you starve the distraction, just like how OJ said, don't look at it, then they started feeding their focus. Once they fed their focus, like in life, it brings about a certain level of clarity. You start seeking the truth. You start seeking answers. You start masterminding like they did when they sat at the table all together. Then you start finding solutions. You start finding, even if you don't find answers, so to speak, the truth isn't always visible or clear. They may not even have a full spectrum of what the problem is, but they started seeking solutions to their immediate problems or to the things that they were trying to achieve. Even though this isn't something that we typically do, go chasing after UFOs, it became bigger than them. And even though Emerald kept doing what we would normally do, like, all right, let's dip, it's time to go. OJ was like, we got work to do. This was about their father. This was about their grandfather. This was about preserving legacy. This was about the community and every mark they had made in history. It was about saving the ranch that they were losing. And not only did they find solutions, but they captured this thing. They got the money shot. In doing so, they destroyed it. If you like this video, remember to give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you think in the comments. Subscribe for more videos. And sharing is caring. I look forward to seeing you again in the next one. Until next time, later. Some people say that they think that the brother died. Do you think the brother died? Let me know in the comments. I don't know that I think the brother died. I didn't get that one.